societal things in your work? Are these your own expectations, or is this an expectation imposed upon you by a dominant culture?
Damn, did you write this question?
Levels.
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 Did y'all hear that?
So you though.
I know, I was like, of course I would get this question.
That's what I said. I said it was just
If you know anything about me, or if you follow my Facebook, you know that I pop off an occasion or two. But
From time to time.
I feel like it's not an obligation, it's part of my life. Like I live in a situation where the struggles of a lot of people are my own struggles. So I would be insane not to make it a part of my work or anything that I do. I also feel like it's a privilege to be able to ignore that. I don't have that privilege, so I gotta fight for it. And I also feel like it's also part of my fight to make sure that no one else gets to ignore it as well. So I guess yes and no. For me, it's an obligation, but it's also kind of ingrained in me just to do it as I breathe.
Yeah, my work is kind of like therapeutic for that, like through the struggle and everything. It's like kind of like just exploring it in my own head and then just putting it out there. But also it's like also dope on the second hand because like you can put this up and like all these people come and like look at these things that you were like thinking about and like maybe they didn't think about and they like saw this thing in the news that they're like, oh, that's terrible, like a fucking freeway shutdown, like no, we shouldn't do that. But now they're like, oh damn, like because this fucking happens every day, like all these people are talking about these similar things, you know what I'm saying? It's like it grows and it shows like the true like depth of the culture, you know? That's to me.
There's this like Liberian saying that when everybody laughs with you, but nobody really cries with you, you know? And so I take that into consideration when I'm creating my work because those experiences, those things that happen in the media with people that look like me, same skin tone, everything. I mean, I feel it. So the way that I create my work is I feel it when I create my work. You know, I don't try to throw it in anyone's face. What's going on? I just feel it. That's all I can do is just feel it, and then that right there goes into my work alone, and then that's my way of giving back. As far as that's what I do.
Go ahead. Like you said, it's a byproduct of just the society and the imagery, what we deal with. You can't, I mean, I guess we live in a day and age where we don't see pain no more. People get up and still go to work after they see Philandro die.
No time to mourn.
People still walk past you and give you that bullshit pat on the back. I'm sorry, bro. You know that, like, yo. You feel me? It's like, it's ingrained in us. I think we have, it's not necessarily an obligation. I would say this to most artists, but you don't owe nobody shit, B. Like, you ain't gotta put no art out there if you don't want to make no black struggle art. You ain't gotta do it.
I need to hear that.
You can make happy Pokemon pictures all day long and motherfuckers don't care about it. You know what I mean? It's still gonna be black art. Exactly.
It's inherently black art.
That's real.
But I think that, again, sometimes if you're more conscious, like we say, if you're woke, then you are going to put some foot forward of trying to make a political statement or some kind of statement in your work to say that I am conscious of what's going on and what you're doing to me or what's happening to me. So, I'm giving it to you.
No, just disappeared.
You sure you worried about that music?
Right, I know he's shook right now.
I'll leave it.
I was gonna say on the flip side is I feel like with my paintings in particular, they're like so far away from like my daily life, working in politics or like doing like agitating. Yeah, like my art is like, you know, like love stories and fucking, if you see them, they're like layered pieces and they almost look like screen printing. And it's like, to me, it's dealing with life on like a macro level and thinking about how reality influences us and how we perceive reality and the layers that are in that. And that to me is my escape, because life is like this. If you are a black man or a black woman, like, you are tense all the motherfucking time.
For real.
You're always tense. You don't even got to be doing shit
Ain't
wrong.
enough weed in the world.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you sometimes catch yourself and you're like, oh, like, my shoulders goes up. Like,
fists be balled up all the time.
Yeah. You catch your fingernails digging in your palms. Yeah, so when I do my art, like, and that's why I'm glad you just said, like, you ain't gotta deal with that bullshit, because I feel guilty sometimes that I don't have a fucking fist in the middle of my paintings, because that's what the fuck people expect me to make. And it's like, I don't want to fucking make that. Shit, I'm a motherfucking person. Like, I fall in love. I fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's other shit that happens to me. I can make a Hey There Delilah fucking painting if I feel like it.
And it ain't gotta be political.
Right,
you know?
right.
You gotta make a militant like red, black, and green daisies.
Fucking
and
upside down
like
flags and
shit.
shit. I don't need that in my life. Look, my brain hurts.
Yes.
Tune out. Yeah.
I think one thing that I've done very well to kind of help my creative moment is travel. I never stick around, and I don't tend to
You
stick
do be
around
gone.
very much. It's one thing that helps me so much. Getting lost into a different culture that I don't know. One of the greatest things I ever did was I traveled to China. I speak zero Chinese, nothing, no Mandarin or anything like that. And kind of navigating through China by myself for 4 months is one of the greatest things I've ever done. And I come back and I create again.